Robyn Brown and Kody sit in their dark living room. As they approach a conversation that has been hanging over them for months, the flickering warmth of a fireplace casts lengthy shadows across their features. "Kody, I've been reflecting a lot on my faith, Robyn," he said, leaning forward with his fingers intertwined. "Contemplating the difference between where I am now and where I was years ago." "Robyn, I know," she said, her arms folded and her voice strained. "And I'm afraid of it, Kody. Our family has placed a great deal of importance on faith. It's like I'm losing you as I watch you fade away." Kody rubs the back of his neck and sighs. He pauses before he speaks. "Kody, it's not that I don't think there's a higher power. However, I have never approved of the way the church has dominated certain aspects of my life. Do you recall when they advised me to get my hair cut? It had nothing to do with faith. It has to do with control." "Robyn, I understand, Kody," she said in a shaky voice. "That's not all, though. You once held the values upon which this family was founded. Furthermore, it seems as though you no longer give a damn about them." Kody lets out a long breath and drops his eyes to the ground, desperate for some assurance. Robyn's eyes scan his face. "Kody, gently, I never claimed to be unconcerned. However, my views have evolved. I can't act that way." Robyn's eyes are filled with grief and frustration as she clamps her lips together. They are silent for a long time. "Hi friends, welcome back to my channel TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let's dive into the latest drama." At last, her voice is hardly audible above a whisper. "Robyn, Kody, you don't have the only say in what happens to this family. I also have a voice." Kody raises his head to meet her eyes. He sees terror in her eyes for the first time in a long time, the fear of a woman who is seeing her world fall apart. Janelle Brown leaves her home and heads toward the black pickup truck sitting in the driveway as the sun is sinking. She can smell the familiar aroma of Garrison in the chilly evening air. Her fingertips trace the dust that has accumulated on the truck's hood as she extends her hand over it. Memories flash through her head. Garrison smiling while he worked on the engine, his hands greasy. He was blaring his music as he drove away. When he initially received the truck, he had pride in his eyes. Whispering to herself, Janelle says, "He loved this thing." She opens the driver's side door after taking a deep breath. His height can still be changed on the seat. The faint scent of his perfume permeates the air, and a faded air freshener hangs from the rearview mirror. Janelle sits in the driver's seat and holds onto the steering wheel. She fights the urge to cry as tears spring up in her eyes. Thinking to herself, "I never thought I'd have to do this," she says. "I never thought I'd be the one driving it alone." Janelle lets the weight of her loss sink in for a time before closing her eyes. She then turns on the engine. A trace of a smile appears on her lips as the familiar rumble fills the quiet. She imagines Garrison sitting next to her, laughing at something absurd, as she pulls out of the driveway. She finds solace in the concept, if only briefly. Robyn's children, Aurora and Brianna, are seated at the table in the kitchen, looking at each other. Robyn observes them intently, feeling their discomfort. "You girls have been quiet," said Robyn gently. "What are you thinking about?" "Brianna, we've been looking into different churches," she said after hesitating and taking a long breath. Robyn's face flashes with something, either dread or worry. She tilts forward a little. "Robyn, I can see why you might choose to take such action. However, you must exercise caution. Not all religious communities are well-meaning." "Aurora, gently, we are aware. We are exercising caution because of this. But, Mom, we feel lost. We no longer know where we belong." In a different confessional, Kody is seen talking to the camera while stroking his hair. "Kody, I'll admit that I'm worried. I don't want them to get involved with something that's a little too severe. I'm concerned that they'll join a culty church that deceives them into holding unhealthful beliefs." Robyn's expression softens as she gazes at her girls back in the kitchen. She takes their hands in hers as she reaches across the table. "I don't want you to feel lost," Robyn said. "Together, we can solve this. We'll investigate. Whatever route you decide on, we'll make sure it's safe and appropriate for you." Aurora and Brianna nod, relief visible on their features. The room becomes slightly less tense. Aurora thanks Mom, with a small smile. Even while they might not know everything, the family is at least working through their problems together. A montage of scenes shows Brianna and Aurora leafing through church brochures at the kitchen table, Janelle clutching the steering wheel of Garrison's vehicle as she drives down an empty road, and Robyn and Kody sitting in somber reflection. Loss, faith, uncertainty. The Brown family is being pulled in all directions by these influences. Kody stands by himself on the porch, the wind blowing over his hair as he gazes out over the expansive Arizona countryside. Unspoken words weigh heavily on Robyn's heart as she watches him from the doorway. After parking Garrison's truck, Janelle takes a seat and presses her forehead against the steering wheel as tears finally fall from her eyes. And Robyn's daughters start their own path to discovering their place in the world in the solitude of their own house. One thing endures despite everything. They are still a family, attempting to work through the turmoil together, despite the rifts in their faith, the burden of loss, and the uncertainty of the future. The Browns are gathered around a dinner table as the sun sets, their faces bathed in a warm glow from the chandelier above. As they exchange anecdotes, giggles, and the reassurance that they still have each other in the face of uncertainty, a tentative calm permeates the atmosphere. And there's more. Regarding their financial situation, Sister Wives stars Robyn Brown and Kody Brown have long been the focus of gossip. The family had thrown their financial lot in together until fairly recently, but they are no longer a cohesive unit. The Browns were a picture of a happy family when the adored, unscripted show debuted in 2010. The Browns appeared to be a reasonably well-adjusted family who truly love one another, in contrast to what many observers anticipate from polygamous households. Kody and his 3 wives shared a Utah home at the time. In the end, Kody had 4 wives and 18 children. Kody was not communicating with some of his older children, and 3 of his 4 wives had divorced him by the time Sister Wives Season 19 premiered. The family had always struggled financially, but since the splits, things have gotten significantly worse. They simply pooled their money and never really kept track of how they were spending it. Their past financial blunders have come back to haunt them severely now that they are no longer a single entity. Since Kody's wives began leaving the Poly family, the topic of finances has been discussed frequently on the show. Christine Brown, 52, Kody's 3rd wife, was the first to leave. After divorcing Kody in 2021, she soon after divorced his 2nd wife, Janelle Brown, 55, in 2022. That same year, his first wife, Mary Brown, 53, left the house with her sister wives. As Sister Wives Season 19 began, Kody was living in monogamy with Robyn, his 4th wife, who is 45 years old. The topic of money came up in a Sister Wives Season 19 episode. Janelle was claiming she was owed money by Robyn and Kody. Janelle claims that she helped Robyn with the down payment when she needed a house. Cody and Robin failed to provide financial support when Janelle needed money for a house. Janelle thought that she should receive a portion of the money she gave to Robyn's house because no one hurried to help her with hers. In the same episode of Season 19, Robyn addressed Janelle's financial allegations. She emphasized that the family used to manage their money in a different way and that they collaborated as a team. The undeveloped property near Coyote Pass is a major theme of Sister Wives Season 19, which is now running. Janelle discussed the complex predicament she finds herself in regarding the land in another episode. After 29 years of marriage and 6 kids, Janelle left Kody in 2022, leaving her with this piece of property that she might never be able to sell or develop. The payment on the property is due in a few months, as she says in the episode, and Kody isn't deciding whether to keep the land. Janelle is thinking of hiring a lawyer to safeguard her financial interests because she is so angry about being kept in the dark. The fact that Janelle and Kody were never formally married adds to the issue. Their union was strictly spiritual because polygamy is prohibited. As a result, the Sister Wives Season 19 star might not be able to legally claim the land. According to a story by E! Online in August 2024, Kody and Robyn listed their Flagstaff home for $1.6 million. The family was at odds over the purchase because they didn't want Kody to buy Robyn the opulent house. Janelle would like to receive a portion of the revenues because she assisted in the acquisition of this house. It's unclear if Robyn and Kody plan to give Janelle a share of the money they make from their home. Together with their 5 kids, Kody and Robyn still reside in the spacious, pricey home in Arizona. Robyn had 3 kids from her previous marriage before she married Kody in 2010. In 2014, Kody adopted Aurora, Dayton, and Brianna Brown. Solomon and Ariella Brown, Robyn and Kody's own children, were born after their marriage. Robyn and Kody have been accused of extravagant spending throughout the years. The Sister Wives cast members were recently seen sporting pricey jewelry and even bought Robyn's kids pricey motorcycles for the holidays. In a YouTube video, Kody's daughter, Gwendolyn Brown, talks about how Robyn and Kody have a terrible habit of spending very crazy and not within their means at all. For the foreseeable future, financial difficulties will remain a significant theme in the life of the Brown family. Janelle Brown has made it obvious that she is not in a rush to get married again by formally bidding farewell to the prospect of getting married. The Sister Wives star and Kody had a difficult relationship from the start and even faced criticism from her own family, which is what led to her newfound independence. Janelle Brown, 2 years after her widely reported breakup with Kody Brown, is prepared to put her own happiness and needs first. On the Sibling Revelry podcast, which is hosted by Kate and Oliver Hudson, the reality TV star recently talked about her thoughts and made it apparent that she is not interested in romance at the moment. "I've ended my marriage. I'm not sure what I'll do. At this point, I'm not really interested in getting married again or even dating," Janelle disclosed. To highlight her satisfaction with her current situation, she said, "So, I'm not even thinking about, oh, what do I need to do? Since I'm simply saying, I'm over it." However, she also pointed out that she hasn't completely ruled out other options. According to In Touch, the 55-year-old said that she would consider breaking up with someone if something presents itself in the future. Given her past relationships, Janelle's statement that she is over marriage is not surprising. It makes sense that the business owner would be reluctant to get married again after navigating the difficulties of 2 divorces. Adam Barber, the brother of Janelle's former sister wife Mary Brown, was the subject of her first marriage in 1990. In the end, this early union ended in divorce. Her second divorce with Kody Brown was even more well-publicized. In December 2022, In Touch exclusively reported that Janelle had left the polygamous partnership because she had outgrown her spiritual connection with the 56-year-old. A lengthy and complicated chapter in her life came to an end with this split. Logan, Maddie, Hunter, Garrison, who is now late, Gabriel, and Savannah are the 6 children that Janelle and Kody have together. The loss of their son Garrison, who committed suicide on March 5, 2024, was an even more devastating tragedy for Janelle and Kody than the stress of their separation. The already broken family was further devastated by the devastating news. Despite the conflict, the family nevertheless gathered to grieve Garrison's death and later that month held a private funeral in Flagstaff, Arizona. According to a source who spoke to In Touch, the scene showed the family members shared grief and the solace they found in remembering Garrison. Everyone was crying and giving each other hugs. According to the source, sharing stories about Garrison helped them get through it, even though it was the hardest thing any of them had ever had to do. They later got together once more to commemorate Garrison's time in the Nevada National Guard. Given her description of her family's opposition to the union, it's possible that the seeds of discord in Janelle and Kody's spiritual marriage were planted from the beginning. According to The Blast, the 2024 episode in which she revealed the information was shot in 2023, just a few months before Christine remarried David Woolley in October of the same year. Christine, who did not have a traditional wedding dress and did not have the support of her family, recalled wearing a green dress for her ceremony as Janelle helped her choose a wedding gown. At first, even her mother was against the marriage. But then something unexpected happened. "My mom was at the wedding because she came to save me from the polygamist and ended up marrying Kody's dad 3 months before we got married," Janelle said. It appears that this change in circumstances loosened her mother's position. "My mother was clearly cool with it, but the rest of my family wasn't so sure. Thus, they did not arrive," Janelle continued. It caused a huge divide within Janelle's family, as she reflected. The businesswoman revealed that she experienced severe estrangement as a result of her choice to embrace a polygamous relationship. Janelle clarified, "When Kody and I got married, my family was very upset with my decision to join the faith. In order to illustrate the magnitude of the consequences," she said, "so most of my family was not talking to me or associating with me." Despite the final dissolution of her union, Janelle had a quite different vision for the ceremony. I probably won't wear a dress if I get married again. I will not wear the large white dress. To be honest, I'm probably going to get married in my jeans on a mountain somewhere, she said. After overcoming personal obstacles, Janelle Brown is now obviously determined to embrace her independence. Sister Wives actress Janelle Brown claims that dating and marriage are currently the last things on her mind after divorcing Kody Brown. I'm divorced. On a recent episode of Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson's podcast, Sibling Revelry, Janelle stated, "I don't know what I'm gonna do. At this point, I'm not really interested in getting married again or even dating. Therefore, I'm not even considering asking myself, oh, what do I need to do? Because I'm simply saying, I'm over it." Since divorcing Kody, who is now monogamously married to his purported favorite wife, Robyn Brown, Mary Brown has dated and Christine Brown has remarried. On the Sibling Revelry podcast with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson, Sister Wives actors Christine Brown-Woolley and Janelle Brown spoke. Both women shared some updates and changes in their lives. For example, Janelle discusses romance and marriage following her divorce from Kody Brown. Christine Brown-Woolley and Janelle Brown talked about their lives after splitting from Kody Brown in a recent podcast. The Sister Wives cast discussed Janelle's living arrangements in Greenville, North Carolina, with Maddie Brown Brush and Caleb Brush on the February 16, 2025 episode of Sibling Revelry. Christine is also in Lehi, Utah, with David Woolley. After splitting from Kody Brown, Sister Wives star Janelle Brown talked about romance and marriage, but she really isn't thinking about either. Oliver Hudson inquired about their divorce procedures and their post-divorce lives. Janelle admitted, "I'm not married anymore. I'm not sure what I'll do." In addition, at this point, I'm not really interested in getting married again or even dating. Janelle also revealed that, with all of her other endeavors going on, she doesn't give it much thought at the moment. "So I'm not even thinking about oh, what do I need to do?" she admits. "Because I'm simply saying, I'm over it." But relief was her primary emotion. "I am finished," she declared. She continues by saying, "I love my single life." Even while Christine and David Woolley try to encourage her to use the applications, she claims she isn't dating and that it isn't a priority right now. She is standing there at the moment, but she isn't shutting the door entirely. "If something presents itself in the future, then I'll consider what I need to do," she says casually. She isn't giving it much thought, though, for the time being. She currently has a lot of other things to focus her time and efforts on. Despite not pursuing spiritual releases like Mary Brown did, Christine Brown-Woolley and Janelle Brown are happy with their current circumstances. Since there was no documentation to juggle, Christine just announced her divorce. However, Janelle clarifies that because they were never officially married, she isn't divorced in the traditional sense. "I just say I'm no longer with him. When I explain it to outside people, I'm like, I'm no longer with my partner," she continues for Janelle. Even though the plural marriage was challenging, Janelle is extremely thankful that she endured it because it allowed her to have a fantastic family experience. Janelle and Christine acknowledge that despite the challenges they faced, it was all worthwhile to get to where they are today. The similar sentiment is expressed by Oliver Hudson, who points out that his experiences shaped who he is now. Similarly, Janelle claims that overcoming challenges made her a more complex and richer person. Christine also acknowledges and cherishes the wonderful recollections. The Sister Wives cast members Janelle Brown and Christine Brown-Woolley also talked about having multiple children. They realized that the children had learned who to ask in order to get the appropriate adult to say yes. For example, they would ask Christine about Black Friday shopping because she would load up and go, and they had options. However, Janelle would have stopped it if she had been asked. The majority of the discrepancies were related to personal household regulations. But by observing life in multiple marriages on Sister Wives, they hope to expand people's perspectives. Both of them recognize their strength and independence and identify as feminists. The solution for Janelle to have a family, a job, and the autonomy to manage her own home was plural marriage. For many years, she and Kody Brown shared space and a bond. However, because she wasn't like Robyn Brown, Christine occasionally made Kody feel like a second-class wife. Being a strong woman, living her life is Janelle's motto. How do you feel about Janelle Brown's declaration that she is done with romance and marriage for the time being? Do you believe she will return when the business endeavors start to slow down? Let us know in your comments. And stay tuned by subscribing our channel to get more updates like this. Thanks everyone.